Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you're new here, hi, my name is Lisa and I document our journey, our debt-free journey here on YouTube. We are a family of now four. I'm gonna say four, just it's my husband, myself, one child who lives out of state, and two doggies. We did adopt our second dog on Saturday, so lots of changes will be made on our budgets going forward. But for today, this is our October monthly budget closeout. I will be filming my November budget right after this video and get it up as soon as possible. So let's begin. So how is everyone doing? Today is Wednesday, November 5th. So let's begin. So moving to my October budget sheet. I don't think the camera is straight. So let's begin. So our budget, our salaries for October came out to $6,224 and 28 cents, and this includes our sinking funds that we transferred over for water because our water bill was due this month. So okay, so our total budget income is $6,224 and 28 cents. So let's see, everything remained the same except for our water bill, because this was an estimate. We don't know what the water bill comes out to, because it always comes out, the statement always comes out after I do my budget, and I usually do my budget at the end of the month, and our water bill the statement comes out like around the 10th or something like that. So it's just an estimate. So our mortgage also went up, and it'll be reflected in November, our November budget. Home serve is the same. Actually, home serve went up a little bit, and it'll be reflected in our November budget as well. Sewer was nothing. Electric is $128.43 because we do get our electric bill before I do my budget. Disney, Hulu, we did cancel Hulu Disney, so this will no longer be a category in our budget in November. Gas for our home is also an actual amount because we do get the bill before I do my budget. Cell phones is also actual. Spotify, we are thinking about canceling Spotify as well, or maybe lowering. I'm not sure if there's a tier for Spotify, but most likely we will be canceling Spotify because we do have Apple Music for free with, I think, our Apple TV subscription, or there's something that we have that gets us free Apple Music. So we are going with that. So our water came out to $269.21. Home security was the same at $77.05. Car insurance $123.32, and the total for our bills came out to $3,163 and 27 cents. Moving over to our sinking funds, and our sinking funds remain the same, $321, and yeah, you can see that. So moving over to our variable expenses, and I did close out my weekly check-in for October. I'll just need to refer back to those numbers. So for groceries, we budgeted $575, and we spent $554.69. 55469. For household, we budgeted $75. We spent $46.91. For gas for our car, we spent $42.40. Yes. And pet expenses, we budgeted $100 and we spent $120.85. And do we have anything unbudgeted? We don't have anything unbudgeted, so that is awesome. So for our variable expenses, we budgeted $800 and we spent a total of $764.85. Okay. For our debt, we did not put anything extra, so what we budgeted is what we actually paid, which is just our minimum payments for our loans. Yeah, so nothing new here. Moving over to, I'll zoom you in for this part a little bit. So moving over to our summary section. So like I said, our income came out to $622,428. Our bills came out to the $316,327. Savings remain the same. Expenses was $764.85, and our debt total remained the same. So we are going to calculate this, and we should get a remaining of $35.15. So 622,428 minus 316,327 minus 321 minus 76485 minus 1940.01 equals 35.15. So 35.15 is what we are rolling over. So moving over to my sinking funds, and we did have a transaction for our sinking funds, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So moving over to our sinking funds. So sinking funds. So for our vet, we started off at $477.30. Oh, I need to check my notes. Okay, so yeah, and we added in 60. We did not have any transactions for vets, and our ending balance is now at $537.30. These are all in our high yield savings account. I am only putting down our just what we're putting in. I'm not accounting for interest. We do have interest in our accounts, but for the sake of the videos, I'm just putting in what we're putting in there and adding up what we're putting in monthly, and not calculating our interest in this. We just decided just not to do that, just for the sake of the video and also for privacy reasons. So for vacation, $465.60 is what our starting balance is. We are adding $150, and the total we have is $615.60. We are moving this $615.60 over to our checking for November, because we are paying for the flight tickets for my daughter to come over to us. So car maintenance, we are at $58.24. We are adding $4, and the ending balance is $62.24. Taxes, we have 30. We're adding 10, so we have 40. For sewer, we have 45 starting balance. We're adding 15, and that gives us total of 60. For water, we started with 150. We added 75, but we did use the total 225, and that gives us a 0 because we did have to use the 150. The 150 we transferred over to our checking, and the 75 just remained in our checking. We didn't transfer it over to our high yield savings, but we did use the total 225. The 150 plus 75 equals 225, so that gives us a 0 in our high yield savings account for the water account. So subscriptions, we added $7 and we had 28, so that gives us a total of 35. So 225 our transactions for the month. So the starting balance plus the amount we allocated towards the month of October is 321. We had to transfer over 225. So now the balance we have in our high yield account is $1,350.14. So yeah, that is our budget for today. This is October's budget. Let's see, let's move over to our October budget sheet, and I will go over any changes that we have. So like I said, home serve increased, our mortgage increased, Hulu will no longer be in a category, gas for our home, Spotify we're still undecided. We will most likely, we're waiting to do our playlist because we have playlists through Spotify and we want to convert playlists in our Apple. So we want to make sure that we do that before we cancel, just so we have our playlist. Water is for October. Water won't be due again until January. Home security, car insurance, everything remains the same. Our sinking funds is going to increase, and you will see that in my November budget. These categories, except for the pet expenses, is going to increase. Pet expenses is now going to be $200 that we're allocating, as well as the vet. So the vet, we have been allocating 60, and we will be doubling that, and we'll be adding 120 every month starting in November. And then for our debt, this remains the same. We're not putting anything extra the remainder of the month. So yeah, so that is it for our October budget. Let me know how your budget went for October. I'm pretty sure you started your November budget already. I'm a little late to uploading my October budget, but it's fine as long as our numbers are correct, and we did good. So even though we didn't overspend on groceries and household and gas for a car, a portion of the balance for these categories went towards the water, because water came out to more than what we budgeted. So yeah, and then overall we didn't go over. We do have a remainder of $35.15 that will be rolled over to November. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great week so far, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.